What's up, bro? In this video you'll discover all the buffs in Terraria. When you make a buff active, the buff appears here in the top left of the corner. You can have 44 buffs and the buffs activate at the same time. The first buff is furniture buffs. The first one is ammo box. Put the ammo box on the ground and you use this ammo box. You receive this ammo box buff. It's a hard mode buff. It's a buff that can save our ammo. You have 20% of saving the ammo. In hard mode, you can come to an arms dealer and in the shop you can buy the ammo box. The second one is Bewitched Table. When you use the Bewitched Table, you receive the buff called Bewitched that increases your max minion by 1. The Bewitched Table can be found in the pre-hard mode in the dungeon, or in hard mode it can be bought from the witch doctor in his shop when the wizard is on the map. The next one is the Sharpening Station. When you use the Sharpening Station, you receive the buff called Sharpened that increases your armor penetration of your melee arms by 12. In pre-hard mode, you can find the Sharpening Station on underground or cavern layer of your jungle. And on hard mode, you can just go to your merchant and buy the Sharpening Station. Next one is the Crystal Ball. When you use the Crystal Ball, you receive your buff called Clairvoyance that increases your mana maximum by 25% magic damage and 2% magic critical strike, and for the last, minus 2% using of your mana when you use magic skills. The Crystal Ball can be bought on hard mode by the wizard. In his shops, you can buy the Crystal Ball. Next one is the War Table. When you use the War Table, you receive the buff called Strategist that increases the max number of your sentries by 1. And the War Table can be found in the event called Old One's Army. When you kill one of his boss, Dark Mage, you can receive with 25% of chance the War Table. And the last furniture is the Slice of Cake. You can put the slice of cake on the ground and eat, so you can receive the Sugar Rush that increases 20% movement and mining speed. When a party starts in your map, you can go to the party girl. If you the first talk to she can give you the slice of cake. The next type of buff is the Light Pets. With the Light Pets, you can receive some light in the darkness. Every light pet can give you some of his light, like the Gel of Light. Here the Fairies Princess, the light, the fair folk illuminate out. It's a good light that she offers to you. The Terraria have a lot of light pets, like the Crimson Heart, the Creeper Egg, the Wisp in the Bottle, the Suspicious Looking Tentacle, the Shadow Orb, the Magic Lantern, the Gerald of Light, and so much more. Now let's talk about some arena buffs. These buffs you can put in your arena, but they have a limited space that it's activity. Like here the Heart Lantern. Here when I stay close to Heart Lantern, the buff is active, but when I go away, the lantern disappears, the buff. That's type of buff that I will talk to you. The first one is the easiest one, called the Campfire. When you put the Campfire in your arena, the Cozy Fire buff is active. These buffs increase your life regen by 10% and increase by 0.5 your life per second. You can create a campfire by using 10 of any wood and 5 torches. By your hand, you can create your campfire. The next one is the Sunflower. The Sunflower you can put in your grass of your forest biome and you receive the buff Happy. This buff increases your movement speed by 10%, decrease your power of your gravestone by 1. So if your map starts to become a cemetery, you can put sunflowers and it starts to decrease your gravestones by 1 of the numbers of the sunflowers. And decrease your evil biome penetration by 40. The sunflower can be found in your first biome, or you can buy from an NPC called Dryad. In the Dryad shop, you can find the sunflower. The next one is the Heart Lantern. When you put your Heart Lantern in your map, you receive the buff Heart Lantern that increases your life regen by 1 life per second. The Heart Lantern can be crafted by your hand using 1 life crystal and 4 chain. The next one is the Star in the Bottle that can be placed in your arena and you will receive the Star in the Bottle buff that will increase your mana regen by 5 per second. can craft your star in the bottle by your hand using the bottle and the fallen star. Next one is the best statue that can be placed in your arena and you receive the best defense. That increase your defense by 5. The best statue can be found on Sandstorm beside the Sandstorm chest of your underground or cavern layer desert, or fished in your Oasis desert, the Mirage crate and the Oasis crate. These two can drop the best statue. Next one is the peace candle. When the peace candle is placed on the table, you receive the peace candle buff that decrease your spawn rate by 23% of monsters in the area and decrease the maximum number of simultaneous enemies on the screen by 30%. To create the peace candle, you can go to a workbench and bring 2 platinum bar and 1 pink torch, or 2 gold bar and 1 pink torch. The pink torch you can create by hand using the pink gel and any wood. The pink gel can be found by kill the monster called pink. You have 10% of chance to make 25 or 15 pink gels. Next one is the water candle. When you put on the table, you receive the buff called water candle that increase your monster's spawn rate by 33% and increase maximum number of simultaneous enemies in the screen by 50%. To create your water candle, you can put your crystal ball next to a water and create the water candle using the candle. To create a candle, you can come to a workbench and bring 1 gold bar and your torch. Next one is the shadow candle. When you put your shadow candle on the table, you receive the buff called shadow candle that dispels the peace of your town. All your buffs that make peace for your town, like NPCs, flowers, sunflowers, and other buffs, don't work when the shadow candle is active. To make the shadow candle, you need to make an ectomist by putting some tomb graves on your map and go to some workbench and make a shadow candle using 3 Criminite bar and 1 torch, or 3 Demonite bar and 1 torch. The next type of buffs is this banner. The banner can be received by killing some number of monsters. Every monster have a number of kill that can receive 1 banner. Some monsters you have to kill 50 monsters, others you can kill less to receive this banner. Like the blue slime banner, if you put your banner on your arena, you receive the buff of the banner for this monster. And the buff, when placed, grants the player 100% of damage inflicted and unless 50% of damage taken. The next buff is the honey. When you go inside your honey, you receive the honey buff. And this buff remains as long as you stay in the honey, and like 30 seconds after you exit the honey. You receive 1 HP per second and increase your natural heal by factor of 3 and reduce the damage of life losing the buffs by 2 HP per second. The next buff is the Druid buffs. When you stay close to the Druid and some monsters come close to the Druid, she starts a buff. And the Druid's buff, the power of nature, protects you in the area, giving the player plus 8 of defense and 2 NPC 40 of defense. And you have 50% of Thorns effect to the player and 33% to the Thorns effect for NPC. Plus 3 health per second to the player and 3.33 HP per second to the NPCs. The next one is food buffs. You have minor improvements to our stats buff that give you 2 defense plus 2 critical chance plus 5 melee speed plus 5 mining speed, 0.5 minion knockback and plus 20% movement speed. And you have the medium improvements to our stats that give you plus 3 defense plus 3% critical chance plus 7 melee speed plus 7 damage plus 0.75 million knockback plus 30% movement speed and plus 10% mining speed. And you have the last food that's major improvement to our stats that the player receive plus 4 defense plus 4 critical chance strike plus 10 melee speed plus 10 damage plus 1 minion knockback plus 40% speed and plus 15% mining speed. You have the buff of the flasks that can be created using the flask station in Bull Station. Have a lot of flasks in the game. The Cursed Flames, the Fire, the Gold, the Ether, the Manix, the Party, Poison, the Venom. When you use these flasks, your wipe or your melee weapon receive a buff. Like using Flask with Venom, your attacks inflicts extra venom in your targets. We have the buff potions. It's a lot of buff potions in the game, and every potion you receive some kind of buff, like the Life Force, Regen, the Luck, the Iron Skin. Have a lot of buff potions that you can have in your game. And for the last, we have the Tipsy buffs. Using some L, some Sake, you receive the Tipsy buff. The Tipsy buff give you plus 4 defense, plus 2% critical hit or melee attack, plus 10% melee damage, plus 10% melee attack speed, plus 5 fishing power, and minus 4 defense for our player. You can receive the Tipsy buff by using Sake or Ali. The Ali can be bought by the Tavern Keeper. You can buy some Ali. The Sake can be bought by traveling merchants. So that's it. That's all the buffs Terraria. If you like this video, hit the like button or send me a gift to Mimosinha.